Welcome to the Militia Gaming Community. I'm Trigger, and today I'm going over everything you need to know to rank in Platinum in the Night Shift Summit in the Crew 2. Let's go! I'm giving away an Xbox Series X to one of my subs this holiday season. Click the giveaway video link in the description or in the top right of this video now to watch the video and enter the giveaway. Just being a sub will not automatically put you in the giveaway, you must officially enter. So go watch that video, enter, and then come back to this one. Good luck! Alright, first let's take a look at the vehicles you're going to be using for this week's summit. Starting off with the legendary R34 Skyline, this car can be used in 5 of the 9 events, however I only recommend using it in the street race that it's required for and the Japan street race. Here are my pro settings. Even though I'm giving you the pro settings to try, I recommend testing these and then adjusting things as needed to fit your own driving style and skill level. For me, these settings produce the best results in testing. Screenshot them or write them down and see how the car feels to you. I tend to err on the side of control over speed. I would rather be able to control my car than to be loose and wild. So if you're a very skilled driver, these settings might be too conservative for you, but I think it's a perfect place to start, and that goes for all of my tunes. The recommended Affix Stats are Pure, which increases the nitro power, and Resourceful, which refills your tank when braking. Moving on to the Camaro RS. This car has a big problem with oversteer at low speeds and understeer at high speeds, along with the tendency to slide out in corners, which makes sense considering it's a rear-wheel drive car. So here are my settings to help control this. Again, these are conservative settings meant to help you control the car. Screenshot it and let's move on. The recommended Affix Stats are again Pure and Resourceful. This summit requires you to use the Evo 10 for what they call a drift event, but this event is not a normal drift event, it's a crossover event in which you just have to race with a drift car. So you're doing a regular race, but you're using a drift car, which is very challenging. So these pro settings really had to be changed to fit this event. These settings will limit the amount of slide your car has and allow you to control the car on the straights and slight turns. Do not take a standard drift build into this race. You will not score very high at all. My recommendation on the sharper turns is to brake just before the turn, then smash the gas to initiate a drift. In the drift, use your nitro to keep you from hitting the walls. Again, I recommend the Pure and Resourceful Affix Stats. Speaking of standard drift builds, that's exactly what you'll need for the 370Z in this summit. My 370 setup looks like this. The build is set up for tighter turns and more control with the ability to rip long drifts with the right speed. If you're going too slow, a long drift will not be possible, and that was intentional. The recommended Affix Stats are Slippery for higher multipliers and Skilled for higher points. I have over 20% on Skilled and around 67% for Slippery, and was able to achieve the score easily and produce 144,000 points for the summit. I hit over 400,000 for this one drift event because I didn't hit the wall at all and I kept the combo throughout the entire event. As long as you do that, you will be 100% fine and you'll score definitely high enough to rank high in the summit. The last car required is the Challenger SRT8 for the Rally Raid. The Rally Raids are tough to tune for because you're being challenged with such a diverse terrain, but my suggestion for this car is to set it up like this. This Pro Tune will give you a bit more responsive steering and tighter suspension. I would recommend using the Muddy Affix Stat. Try to get that stat as high as you possibly can. Alright, let's look at the available shortcuts for the street races. In the Electric City race, there are a couple of cuts you can make through the hedges, and that's going to be at 10%, 12%, and 23% of the race. And then at 18% of the race, there's a jump that you can go around to the left and stay on the ground, which obviously allows you more speed. The Sleeper has one major shortcut that you can hit at 45%. Just hit that jump pointed directly at the next checkpoint and then go through the containers after you land. This cuts a tremendous amount of time out of this race, and if you hit it correctly every single lap and not make any major crashes, you should be easily in the 100,000 point range. The downtown Detroit race doesn't really have any real shortcuts other than you can cut through the trees and the field at 8% right near the beginning of the race. And then after that, you can cut a lot of the corners. Just watch out for trees and the sides of the buildings. All right, moving on to the speed trap. This is the one that you're going to want to use a drag car for. My drag car isn't fully leveled, so I didn't get that many points. But as far as strategy goes, you can back up to where the green circle on the minimap ends and then launch from there. That should give you plenty of runway to hit over 300 miles an hour or even more. Mine was at around 284, but like I said, my car is not fully leveled. I will be working on that this week to increase it before the summit ends. Now, the escape on this summit is actually pretty fun. I figured out a really easy way to get around 12 to 13,000 yards away, which is more than enough to get 100,000 points in the summit. You can go straight down the storm drain at the start until the very end, and then you use this little ramp to jump onto the freeway. Then just stay on that freeway without hitting any cars, and you can easily get 12,000 yards away. I could have probably gotten farther if I had a faster car, but I was using this GTI and it's not the fastest street car in the game. The Slalom is just that. I don't think I can really give you any advice for this other than just use the car that you're most comfortable with and keep practicing this Slalom. And lastly, let's take a quick look at the Rally Raid. This one is really frustrating, but again, just practice it and find out where you're comfortable driving and controlling the car. Over time, you'll figure out what path you like to take and what is more comfortable as far as what trees you know how to miss and what rocks you can look out for. I just recommend trying this multiple times in order to get your preferred path down. Alright guys, and that's it. If you have any questions about this video or any video, my DMs are open. Send me a message on Instagram or Twitter. I respond as fast as I possibly can, but sometimes I'm busy, so just please be patient. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to the Militia subs. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.